What's going on, everybody? The Iceman here on Iceman V2013 YouTube channel. Yeah, and it's a little late because it happened yesterday, but the death of Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He passed away at the age of 73. He was a well-known wrestling name, a man that I admired so much in the ring because I liked his high-flying style. I seen him numerous occasions at Madison Square Garden in cage matches. I saw him against Don Morocco, who was an Intercontinental Champion at the time, against Bob Backlund. Uh, this was back in the day where titles never changed hand very often. So for Snuka to get a title in the WWF or the WWF was like almost impossible, and which he really never did. But he held titles everywhere else. He was a one-time AWA champion. He was involved in all different promotions all around the world, and he was champions throughout the world. But one championship that eluded him was in the WWF, regardless of the amount of stints that he put there. Um, this is just how it was back then. But the man was graced with so much skill. Uh, he came from the Fiji Islands, and you could tell by his look that he was, one of those kind of guys that he was built so great. I mean, to watch him off the top of a cage was phenomenal. And back then, you know, when they did it back then, they did it, because it was pride. They wanted to prove who they were. They wanted to prove their greatness. Um, we see it sometimes nowadays, but to me, back then it was more meaningful because back then titles were hard to come by. And but for Jimmy Snuka, unfortunately, he passed away 2 weeks after the dismissal of his court case of a murder case, which went back many years ago. And it's unfortunate that, after this happened, he couldn't really enjoy life without having any kind of pressure from, the law and anything else which was going to get into his way. But he died at the age of 73. He had a great career in the world of professional wrestling, and those who never saw him wrestle, go back to the old archives and the tapes and watch him wrestle, because anytime you were in a match with Jimmy Snuka, you had your hands full. And he was definitely a man that had all the talent in the world. And it's unfortunate to me and for him that he did not become champion more often than not. I mean, in the old WWF days, he was being trained by Captain Lou Albano, but it never got him really anywhere because, like I said, when you have a Bruno Sammartino or a Bob Backlund back then that were champions, their championship reigns lasted forever. So it was very, very hard pressed to get in and get that kind of belt uh, back then in that promotion. But, you know, if Snuka was in his prime at the present day era, he would have held a lot more belts than he did back when he did get those belts. So, anyway, it's a sad day for me. Rest in peace, Jimmy Snuka. You were the Superfly in my eyes, and we'll always be thinking of you, and you'll always be in our memories. With all that being said, this is the Iceman here on this Monday, January 16th. Peace out, everybody.